channel. Today we're featuring remote jobs at companies like Cardinal Health, MediCat, and Illumifin. So let's get comfy and view the lineup. Our first up is CardFlight, and CardFlight is looking for a customer operations associate. Let's take a look at CardFlight's core values: continuous improvement, ownership, quality execution, results oriented. The team is the engine, and transparency. We always appreciate knowing about the perks first. Focus on teamwork, take ownership, learning and development, team lunches, go on that adventure, and health and wellness. Let's take a look at the open positions. As we can see at CardFlight, we have 2 open roles, an inside sales associate as well as a customer operation associate in the finance and operations department. And this is the one that caught my eye. So CardFlight is looking for a customer operations associate. They're looking for someone who loves working with others and is passionate about giving customers an amazing experience. As a customer operations associate, you'll be the face of the company, helping CardFlight swipe simple customers succeed. This is a location neutral role, so you can work from anywhere. And here's what you'll be doing: supporting customers via phone and email. So I know that there's been a big request for non-phone roles, and this is a 50-50. So it's a mix of phone and a mix of email, answering questions and solving problems, learning everything there is to know about Swipe Simple product and share that knowledge with the customers, collaborate with the team to identify trends and improve processes, and work closely with the engineering team to resolve technical issues. Here's what they're looking for: 1 to 2 years of customer service experience, excellent communication and problem solving skills, a passion for continuously improving the customer experience. Experience with customer relational management software is a plus. Here's the perks of working at CardFlight. You'll work from any location that you choose. You'll receive a stipend to set up your home office. They have flexible paid time off, opportunities for learning and development, comprehensive health benefits, competitive pay and company ownership options, and more. As we see here, the salary for this role is $45,000 to $55,000 a year. And in addition to a competitive base salary, this position is also eligible for a cash bonus and equity awards. So we know that equity awards help build generational wealth. And it can be really huge if a company would ever go IPO. At CardFlight, they lead with respect for one another, for their customers and business partners, vendors, and prospective employees. CardFlight's objective is to ensure that members are passionate about their growth of the company, supported in their personal growth and development, and connected to their colleagues. They're an equal opportunity employer. Let's take a look at the application. And as we've been experiencing more frequently, this is a simplified application: first name, last name, email, phone, attach your resume, and attach your cover letter. Remember, I've been encouraging you to get a cover letter together to attach, because that is the way that you get to introduce yourself and showcase the best you. They have a space here for your LinkedIn profile. That is optional, it is not required. If you have a personal website or a business that you run, you could provide that also, but that's optional as well. They want your state of residence, and they want to know if you'll require future sponsorship to work in the United States. They'd like to have your gender and know if you're Latino or Hispanic, your veteran status, and if you have a disability. And once you complete that information, you can click Submit Application. So let's find out about the sentiment of working at CardFlight. So as we see here, we have 12 reviews. The employee size of the company is 51 to 200 employees, so this is a startup. And CardFlight's mission is to enable companies to build a safe and secure platform to accept payments on smartphones and tablets. We have a 4.6 review, 91% would recommend to a friend. Our first review indicates great culture. Pros, great culture and great people. Cons, none that the individual could think of. In terms of the interview difficulty, and always remember this is relative to the individual that's actually interviewing. For those things that individuals consider difficult, it could be simple, and vice versa. So this was a 2.3 out of 5 for difficulty. The individual did not receive an offer. It was a risk analyst interview. It was a neutral experience and average interview. The person applied online. It took 2 weeks to hear back. They interviewed with Card Flight. It was initial contact with the recruiter, no phone screen. First interview with the hiring manager, who told the individual there would be at least 4 to 5 more interviews. Salary was entry level. There was no team, as this role will be working under hiring manager and no one else. The hiring manager asked only behavioral questions and ironically about teamwork and team conflict. The individual felt they were so confused as the questions had nothing to do with the role, the type of work, or team. And as there are no team members this hire would work with. It indicates the process seemed extremely archaic and the company seemed very underdeveloped. However, rejection letter was sent promptly and they did not ghost, which is appreciated for job seekers nowadays. So in this particular review about the interview process, typically if there is no team that you're going to collaborate with, it's not surprising that the questions were behavioral based. So this gives us a little bit of insight. It's only a bird's eye view. Dig a little bit deeper and find out more about Card Flight. Get to know its history. Learn a little bit about the senior leadership team so that when you get that call for that interview, you are ready. Get those interview questions ready and have them prepared. And if you stay tuned in the video, I do have some tips about how to stand out as an applicant. And from here, we're going to move on to Cardinal Health. Our next up is Cardinal Health, and Cardinal Health is looking for a coordinator for individualized care. The role is responsible for guiding the patient through various process steps of their patient journey to therapy. These steps include patient referral intake, investigating all patient health insurance benefits, and proactively following up with various partners, including insurance payers, specialty pharmacy support organizations, and the patient physician to facilitate coverage and dispense a product in a timely manner. The coordinator mediates effective resolution for complex payer pharmacy issues toward a positive outcome and provides a positive patient experience. The role answers inbound questions and provides customer service and technical expertise to parties. Let's take a look at the responsibilities and qualifications. So, this particular role, you'll be maintaining a current and in-depth understanding of patient therapy, prior approval and reimbursement processes, and details of healthcare plans, managing a queue of technical and complex therapy and reimbursement questions from customers, and applies judgment in resolving service and problems falling within the established limits of authority and knowledge, meeting key performance indicators, service levels, call volumes, adherence, and quality standards, following up with patients, pharmacies, physicians, and other support organizations as needed regarding inquiries, handling sensitive information. HIPAA is coming into play here, and personal data with discretion, including prescriptions, personal information, date of birth, financials, and insurance information. You'll be escalating highly complex and difficult issues as needed to senior team members and individualized care leadership. The qualifications for this role, 1 to 3 years of experience preferred. That means it's not a deal breaker and it's not required. I can tell you right now, any job that I've ever applied for, I ignored the required experience and I would submit anyway. And I have really landed some heavy hitting opportunities. I've worked for Amazon in their HR and finance departments. I've worked for Anthem Insurance in their corporate division. I've worked for Walmart corporate. I've worked for Progressive. I've also worked for GE Financial, along with being offered a role in the human resources department of Tesla as a program manager, not once, not twice, but 3 times. It's your confidence level. And then you've also have to go in asking the problems that the company is trying to solve, their pain points, and let them know how you have solutions to resolve that. And that is how you have to showcase your best you. Getting back to the qualifications, so a minimum of a high school diploma or GED preferred. So the high school diploma or GED is preferred, it's not required. Basic computer knowledge, Microsoft systems, a strong communicator, customer service skills, ability to be an independent worker and self-directed, ability to sit for long periods of time. It's not in a cubicle setting because this is a remote role. It is totally remote, location neutral. Demonstrates superior customer support talents, ability to prioritize multiple concurrent assignments with a sense of urgency, and knowledge of Medicare, Medicaid, and commercially insured payer common practices and policies preferred. So they're willing to teach you this. And so I always say it's not where you start, it's where you finish. This type of role I could see definitely going into something more focused as a med bill reviewer. It can also go into disability claims management. Some of these skills are transferable to that type of role. I could see a person tearing up after about 2 years in this role and working in patient financial services, again, in a disability role for claims management, even a claims environment for an insurance carrier, medical only claim rep. Those will pay some very decent salaries, upwards of 60 or 70K. This is a role where you could definitely upskill and then take that skill set somewhere else. So what's expected of you at Cardinal Health? Apply acquired job skills and company policies and procedures to complete standard tasks. Working on routine assignments that require basic problem resolution, referring to policies and past practices for guidance, receive general direction on standard work, receive detailed instructions on new assignments, and consults with the supervisor or senior peers on complex or unusual problems. So let's take a look at the training and work schedules because this is important. So this is new hire training, so they're willing to train you. It's going to be 8 a.m. to 5 every day, Monday through Friday, CST time. So that means if you are in a Eastern Standard Time zone, that's going to be 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. for training. If you're in a PST time zone on the West Coast, then this is going to actually end up being a 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. role for you. And they have mandatory on-camera attendance is required. So if you are a person who does not like to be on camera, you want to give that some deep thought because it is going to be mandatory that you're on camera every day. It is full-time. You're required to have flexibility to work any of the shift schedules during normal business hours, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So if this is not something that you desire, you can pass this opportunity along to someone else or take a look at what else I'll be showcasing in the video today. You will work remotely full time. It will require a dedicated, quiet, private, distraction-free environment with access to high-speed internet. You are responsible for providing your high-speed internet, so this company does not reimburse for that. You are required to have a download speed of 15 Mbps, upload speed of 5 Mbps, and a ping rate maximum of 30 milliseconds. They like you hardwired to the router, so this is not a situation where you could have Wi-Fi and apply to this opportunity. So keep that in mind. Are issued Cardinal Health equipment, then you're required to have a surge protector with network line protection. The anticipated salary range is $18.10 per hour to $25.80 per hour. This particular role is not eligible for bonus, but it is eligible for medical, dental, vision, paid time off, a health savings account, 401k savings plan, access to wages before payday with MyFlexPay, flexible spending account, short and long-term disability coverage, work-life resources, paid parental leave, and healthy lifestyle programs. This application window for this particular role is going to close September 10th, 2024. So they're asking you if you're interested in this opportunity and you have thought through all of the requirements of the role and you believe this is something that you can commit to or interested in, I encourage you to apply. And so at this point, we're going to take a look at the application. And so Cardinal Health uses Workday, and Workday is very friendly. I'm not able to create an account here today because then some of my information would be exposed and we don't want that. But you would simply create your account by entering your email and password that you set up. Once you create that account, it'll take you over to the application area. You can attach your application or you can enter the information manually. It's up to you. It will take you about 17 minutes to complete the entire process. If you have a resume ready, I encourage you to go back through because it's going to parse the information out of the resume and link it to the fields that it should land in, but go through and review that to make sure it landed in the right spaces. If you enter the application manually, it's going to take you about 22 minutes in its entirety to complete the process. So hopefully you are resume ready and ready to attach it so it can parse the information for you and make it a smooth process. So let's take a look at the sentiment of employees working at Cardinal Health. So we see here on Indeed, we have 68 reviews in totality. The overall sentiment is a 3.4 star, a 3.2 for work-life balance, a 3.5 for pay and benefits, a 3.1 for job security and advancement, a 3 for management, and a 3.2 for culture. Our first review says Cardinal Health is a solid company to grow leadership skills. This is the Director of Quality Assurance and Regulatory Affairs in Laverne, Tennessee. It's a former employee. The best part of working at the company is Cardinal Health is an extremely well-run company. It focuses on patients while supporting providers, manufacturers, and regulators while maintaining an excellent employee culture. Great place to grow your career. What is the most stressful part? The individual indicates that their team was comprised of excellent employees, and as a people leader, it was critical to develop by managers and supervisors to develop their staff and teams to benefit themselves and Cardinal Health. It took significant time, yet paid off in an outstanding team, able to contribute significantly to Cardinal Health goals and patient well-being. What is the work environment and culture like at the company? Cardinal Health's work environment is supportive of employees, their families, and community while never losing sight of patient needs. And what is a typical day like? As a people leader at Cardinal Health, my typical day started before most of the team arrived. I'd take the quiet time to lay out the day's priorities for myself and my managers. I'd also work on my projects so my time in the day could be spent on meeting with clients, regulators, leadership, and etc. The end of day typically included pre-planning for the next business day and very satisfying employment at Cardinal Health. Here's a delivery driver. That's good. It's a good mix. The delivery driver says that wages are low, but overall a great place to work. They provide a car for delivering nuclear pharmacy medications, and people there are awesome, and management is easy to work with. So we have upper management or senior leadership contributing to the reviews, and we have a non-leadership role contributing to the reviews, and their sentiments are exactly the same. So it sounds like Cardinal Health is doing great things and people are really happy. So what I would encourage you to do is always dig in, find out more. You've got 5,176 reviews that you can look into to get more information and more insight. And then also know a little bit more about the company and its leadership team. And if this is something that you're interested in, I encourage you to apply. The other thing I want to go through for Cardinal Health is there are many, many, many opportunities at Cardinal Health. So let's digress just a little bit. So as we look at this, we've got several opportunities here, and this is just this is just a drop in the bucket to how many opportunities that Cardinal Health has open. So we see the reimbursement coordinator. I've just went over the individualized care coordinator. There are 2 or 3 of these roles open, as well as in the reimbursement coordinator area. So please take the time, go to Cardinal Health's website and take a look at what they have to offer in terms of open opportunities. And hopefully you'll find something that interests you, and I encourage you to apply. We're going to move on to our third opportunity at Illumifin. At Illumifin, the opportunity that caught my eye was a long-term care claims adjudicator. And as you can see, this is a global company, so they have roles available in the US as well as India. And working at Illumifin, you have options for in-person, remote, and hybrid positions. They're a culture committed to giving back to the community. They have a comprehensive benefits package, training to ensure employees have the resources they need, activities to promote team engagement and fellowship, and professional development and career path planning. So let's take a look at the open positions. So as we can see, they have a claims specialist. We have a care manager, a temporary telephonic interviewer, Senior Financial Analyst, Associate Customer Care Professional, Claims Intake, Mailroom Operation Support, a Senior Compliance Analyst for Licensing and Legislation, Temporary Operation Support. They do allow you to submit a general application as well. They have contract nurse opportunities, some that are home based, some that are on the road, and they have senior account managers and a senior accountant role. So I encourage you to take a look at if any of these other opportunities, other than what I'm showcasing here today, interest you. So, in our claims specialist role, Illumifin is looking for a long term care claims adjudicator to review and process home and facility based long term care claims. You'll provide quality service to policyholders, their representatives, and providers. So, you'll be reviewing databases, client guidelines, and policy contracts to adjudicate claims, querying providers for licensure information, proof of loss, and dates of service, communicating with senior examiners and management on special cases, documenting claim activity clearly and concisely, meeting quality and production standards, processing requests from clients or other LTCG departments. LTCG was acquired by Illumifin, so that's why LTCG is in the requisition. This role also involves other duties as assigned. The minimum qualifications is an associate's degree or equivalent or 2 years medical experience. So if you've been a medical assistant, working in a medical office or a medical setting for 2 years, I would encourage you to apply. And even if you haven't, I would still encourage you to apply. This is a job that can be taught. There is training that goes on for about 6 to 8 weeks. So I would definitely encourage you to apply if you're interested. They're looking for intermediate Microsoft Office skills. The preferred qualifications is experience in geriatric healthcare. If you all have a family member that is aging at home and you're caring for them, then you have experience in geriatric healthcare. Knowledge of health, long-term care, or disability insurance, and excellent communication skills. So if you're interested in this role, I encourage you to apply. Take a look at the other open roles that are available. Don't just stop here. Keep your eyes open. I encourage you to expand your application submissions to roles that you would normally never apply to. You'll never know the outcome unless you submit the application. So let's take a look at the sentiment of individuals working at Illumifin. We see here on Indeed, we have a total of 71 reviews with a sentiment of 3.5, a 3.1 for work-life balance, a 3 for pay and benefits, a 2.6 for job security and advancement, a 2.7 for management, and a 2.8 for culture. So our first review is a long-term care insurance field assessor. It's an independent contractor in Woodbury, Minnesota. A lot of paperwork to complete, but it is a pretty good side job only. Too much paperwork for part-time or full-time. This says, what is the best part of working at the company? Independent. Make your own schedule, negotiate pay. What is the most stressful part about working at the company? Learning about long-term care insurance. And what is the work environment and culture like at the company? Independent, no office visit. Everyone I communicate with are professional and polite. And what is your typical day like for you at the company? Non-stressful, mostly independent, and major communication is via email. So that's inviting that it's non-stressful. We know that there are a lot of environments that we can go into, and that's just not what we're looking for. We have another review here. It's a former employee that's anonymous in St. Paul, Minnesota, indicates poor management. The people I worked with were very nice. However, I do not recommend anyone work for Illumifin. The HR and team management are horrible people and they don't care about their employees. The pros were none and the cons were poor management. So remember that reviews are relative. I'm not saying that there's no gravity to this review, but I am saying it is the individual's experience that magnifies or drives the review itself. And so it can be their location, it could be their person they're reporting to, it can be their department, or it can just be them. It could be a number of things. So I say that you can take it into account, but take a look. That's why I tell you to dig in. There are 453 reviews that you can comb through to find out more about the company and a little bit about the culture. But I encourage you to apply if you're interested. Open your mind up and be open to applying to roles that you normally would not. And don't talk yourself out of it saying that you're not qualified. And with that said, we're going to move on to role number 4 with MediCat. MediCat is looking for a customer onboarding specialist, and as a customer onboarding specialist, you'll help administrators and end users successfully transition into their electronic health record platform at MediCat. Your healthcare expertise and strong communication skills will ensure smooth onboarding process and drive user adoption. MediCat is the #1 electronic health record software provider in the college health. Student health and counseling clinics use MediCat to support practice management documentation, workflow automation, and the student experience, enabling providers to do what they do best, take care of students. So let's take a look at the role. It is remote, 20% travel, full-time, and it's mid-level individual contributor. And as the customer onboarding specialist, you'll help administrators and end users successfully transition to their electronic healthcare platform. You'll guide clients through the onboarding process, configure systems to meet the client's needs, train clients on MediCat software, and optimize clinic workflows for MediCat adoption. The requirements of the role: 1 year of electronic health record system experience, a deep understanding of clinic workflows, excellent communication, training, and relationship building skills, strong problem solving and multitasking abilities, ability to work independently and as part of a team. The nice to haves that are not required and is on MediCat's wish list is a clinical background as a medical assistant, nurse, counselor, etc., or clinic administration experience. MediCat end user experience, meaning if you have experience using the MediCat system and familiarity with Zendesk, HubSpot interfaces such as lab, pharmacy, immunization, and insurance billing. While this particular role doesn't showcase the actual salary, I always encourage you to go to salary.com and take a look at the job title, enter that into the query area, and then look at the median salary that because that's where negotiations start. So median or somewhat above the median is where you can start those negotiations and get that information. So we'll take a look at the application, which is extremely simplified for MediCat. It is simply first name, last name, email, and phone number. Upload your resume and click submit. So MediCat is definitely standing on business. And it tells me they're a pretty straightforward company. I would look to later in the process, if you're contacted for interviews and offered a role, have the expectation that you'll be filling out those additional pieces, parts at that particular time on the formal application. In this particular role, it is total upskilling. So working with these particular types of systems can land you a role with a company called Epic. Epic is also an electronic health records system and software. Many hospitals, such as Bon Secours, amongst Mercy hospitals use Epic. And I can tell you that if you get into an organization that uses the Epic system, learn all that you can and inquire about becoming certified. Because I can tell you, once you have that certification, most of the jobs that you'll apply for will start somewhere around $80,000 a year or better. So let's take a look at the sentiments for a MediCat. So we see we have a total of 19 reviews, and it was founded in 1993, 51 to 200 employees, so it is a startup. It's an enterprise software and network solutions company. Their competitors, again, are Epic, Patagonia Health, Point and Click Solutions. And we see our first review is a 4-star. 75% would recommend the company to a friend. Since overall, with our first review as a consultant, it's a former employee more than 3 years ago in Atlanta, Georgia, and the company is based out of Atlanta, Georgia. And it says a 5-star, great place to work. The pros are great people, great customers, and an exciting product. Cons, none as of now. They were understaffed during COVID. The cons, none as of now. They were understaffed during COVID due to high demand, but that has changed. And so every company was understaffed at that particular time and post COVID. And as we are still post COVID at this particular point, companies remain understaffed. So that has not completely resolved itself. So it's understandable why the individual is saying they were understaffed at that particular time. And so the interviews at MediCat Keep in mind, as I always explain, those are relative. It's a 3 out of 5 for difficulty. It depends on the person that had the interview experience and their learning curve. So it was a 100% positive experience. They interviewed for a customer success manager. It's an anonymous interview candidate. They did not receive an offer, but indicated that the experience was positive and it was an average interview. They had 3 Zoom interviews and enjoyed their time communicating with members of the team. Each conversation did a deep dive into the functions of the organization, customer success, and past experiences. And each individual, it is noted that they were great to talk to during the process. It appears that they use behavioral based interview questions. So be prepared for that. So take a look at the remaining reviews, dig a bit deeper, learn more about the company, do some research on the historicals, learn more about the culture. If you're interested in this opportunity, apply. Don't talk yourself out of it. This role gives a little bit of travel. It's kind of nice. If you don't want that, then give that some thought. But it is 20% travel. So it gives you an opportunity to travel free on someone else's dime, see something different. It offers a bonus as well, so you really can't beat that. That's extra cash in your pocket. It's for you to do things discretion at your discretion. So again, I encourage you to apply this role if it resonates with you. I encourage you to apply to this role if it resonates with you. And that's it for today, YouTube family. I hope you found these remote job leads as exciting as I do. Remember, landing your dream remote job isn't about applying to the most listings. It's about targeting the right opportunities and standing out from the crowd. So don't be discouraged by a little competition. See it as a chance to prove your skills. And more importantly, don't give up. That perfect remote role is out there, and with the right strategies, you'll find it. Thanks so much for watching. Be kind, keep it positive, and I'll catch you in the next video.